Yeah. Let's figure this out. All right. Yo. Wide open spaces that separate us. Too old to be motivated by haters. As you mature, Satan gets more complicated with how he cooks you. Told my youngins, watch them demons you can't kill with a bullet. I could be nominated for a Pulitzer. I'd rather reach for my brother and pull him up. Listen to my old raps and get misty-eyed and mystified. Damn, I really miss that guy. He was so eager to risk it all and get the God. Now he fights the voices that say he's rinsed and dried. You missed your time. Hard to believe God fixed the fight. The devil is a lie. But every accusation on his list is right. This is why I pray. At least I try to. Start with giving thanks, then complaints. I'm ashamed. I tend to feel restrained. Ask God to save me. Why is this the way you made me? I'm fighting things I can't see. I have so many thoughts that aren't suitable for the public. Anxiety makes every day a game 7 must win. I thought my deconstruction was a junction. Now I'm convinced it's uncertainty I'm stuck with. I wonder if new creatures come with caveats. The blood ain't thicker than the scriptures my daddy taught. A bunch of hand-me-downs hanging in my prayer closet. Keep your renewed mind if it's mixed with their logic. Keep your godliness if it don't produce good people. Woe to those who call good evil. Keep your tithes if it's tied up in classism. And keep your narrow path if it ain't empaths in it. That's finished. My brother and sister, what's the mass for? No need to posture and prop up. We pass war, praying for patience as some prepare for a crash course. Cause sometimes judgment is getting what you asked for.
I usually don't like just talking in a dead space, but that last bar hit something serious. It's interesting times we're in. We gotta tell the truth. I'm a believer, the veil is torn in half, so I know that you receive us. Take me to my first love, and I don't mean Selena. Yo, this the type of presence that can fill up an arena. I know 2 Simones, but I never knew a Nina. Yeah, I got the sweetest love, but I never knew Anita. Majin Buu Vegeta, Leanna's looking down on me. Yeah, I know she proud of me. I'm living by my boundaries. I'm looking at my children smiling. Damn, I know they count on me. I see who's really down for me. I see who's looking out for me, cause all I see is miracles. Always take the scenic route, a child with a steering wheel. Decompress at home, streaming later seasons, Key and Pill. My wife sat down and asked if I could be a dreamer still. Nah, baby, see, I ain't really sleeping well. I ain't really grieving well. It's tension when I be myself. I've been in these hurricanes, waiting on that FEMA mail. But praise Jesus, cause this ain't where the story ends. The prophets are historians. Time to bring the organist. It's time to bring the muralist. This ain't for performances, and please no phones recording this. It's sacred where his glory is. When you take a public stage, it's a canvas of your heart and mind. Ego getting analyzed, it's evil in them bottom lines. People really choosing favorites, how they choose to solve the crimes, or they just stay silent, hope the answers just get lost with time. See, rappers dying more and more and chasing it is vanity, so please don't be no fan of me. Please don't just consume the content I'll be sharing. Please pray for my family, cause I don't play about my family. I made it through the wasteland, double meaning Graceland. Long a weary traveler that had a couple face plants. Like when I tried to break dance, like when I tried to make plans. Now I seal it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
But God put me on this journey to create. Look at what I've done. Look at what because I took the long route. He didn't want me taking the shortcut. I had to take the long route. There was jewels for me to gather all along the way. No, I didn't go straight to it. I went the long way. But look at all that I know now. Look at all this that I know. And I'm going to make my way here. It's taking the long route, the scenic route.
Yo, 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 yo. What up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to the season premiere of Wake Up Tonight. My name is Armond Wake Up. I am all the things, but, you know, thank you guys for spending your Wednesday night with me. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, the conversation is on YouTube. So make sure you guys are super active in the chat. I will be checking in there from time to time. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Make sure y'all like this video, this live, all that good stuff, man. I'm taking time away from my babies, from my family to do this. I want to be consistent this year. And actually, let's talk a little bit about this year, right? I don't know if you guys are signed up to my newsletter. I sent one out today and talked about like my year. One of the things that I talked about was my year, and how I took December off to recalibrate, reprioritize, while, I'm watching a lot of my peers like recap the year and like get their, they tell you like, yeah, repurpose your content. And it was like, it was really appealing because, I know I did some really cool stuff that was able to impact and touch a lot of people. I'm like, yeah, let me share this again. But I was listening to my body, and my body was like, Armond, you need to chill. You need to chill. And so I did that. I took 2 weeks off from work. My kids flew down to see it. Well, flew down. Ohio they flew up to see me. My son is closer to me now. He has moved to the Midwest, not quite in Ohio, but he's closer to me. So helping him navigate and transition and all that good stuff, man. So, in that, and in taking that break, I was able to like focus on motive and really like ask myself like, all right, Armond, like, why are you doing this? Like, what's the point? What is your goal? What are you trying to prove? Do you have something to say? Something that Andre 3000 always talked about, was making sure that he only wrote when he had something to say. I kind of changed my stance on that a little bit, but just making sure that I have something of value, because I felt pretty burnt out. Because sometimes, man, like, things don't really go the way, not sometimes, most of the time. The first question I would pose for y'all is, has there ever been a time where something has went your way, or went exactly the way you wanted it to? Like, that was a win for you. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really easy and typical to be pessimistic about a situation. Like, man, this ain't gonna work. And then like you sit back and you're expecting it to not work, and then it doesn't work, and you're like, see, told you, knew it wasn't gonna work, right? But when have you sat back, assessed the situation, and said, this is gonna work out? And to take it a step further, has it ever worked out exactly the way that you thought it was going to work out? I ain't gonna hold you. Not very many times for me. I wish God worked in my life that way. I really do. I'm with you. I cannot recall a single time where I was like, this is the way that it's going to happen, and it worked out that way. I can't even think of a time when it like mostly worked out the way that I thought it was going to work out. Almost always, it's just right? All over the place. And one of my homies, one of my longtime friends, recently got baptized. And he texted me today and he said, man, how come you didn't tell me that, like, man, surrendering to your life to God would just bring, just raise your quality of life? And I wanted to be like, nigga, I'm jaded. Like, I wish I had that zeal, like when I first got saved. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was like, oh my goodness, the grass has never been this green. The sky has never been this blue. It's like, fam, I'm over here struggling. You know what I'm saying? But I think one thing that is coming with time and with age is like recognizing that things are just going to be the way that they are, and just doing your very best in the midst of that. Doing your very best. What can you do right now in this moment that you have control over? And do that. You know what I'm saying? My mom tells me that all the time. I don't know if my mom is in here, but my mom tells me that all the time. She's just like, Armond, like, control what you can control. And it hit different when mom said it. You know what I'm saying? You hear that all the time, but like when mom says, control what you can control, my dad said the exact same thing, control what you can control. And I'm like, you know what? Y'all are right. And it's helped manage my stress and hopefully be more consistent with this, because I really want 2025 to be an amazing year. I want it to be the year that I do all the things. I don't want to sit in December and be like, man, I wish I should have, or I could have. Like, I'm tired of overthinking, tired of all that stuff that I've been dealing with, man. Like, I'm ready to rock and roll. And that's why we put music out. So if you missed it, or if you haven't watched yet, put out a record on Friday with Taelor Gray called Scenic Route. Getting a lot of positive feedback. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening and sharing and all that stuff, man. I really do appreciate it. It's been really cool. It's really cool. And I did that last year too, right? Like I had the red button freestyle. I like starting the year off with raps. I'm enjoying that. Like I said, I don't know, I shared this on again in the newsletter. Go to ArmondWakeUp.com, sign up for the newsletter. You know, Taelor and I were going to put that out at the end of December and then launch into our albums. So Taelor was going to release only Dot Twice, and then I was going to follow up with Armond and Doc 2 at the top of the year, or maybe even in December if we could make it. But things didn't work out that way. And I was like, yo, you know, Taelor was like, yo, like, what do you think we should wait and like hold off? And I was like, nah, man, like Scenic Route is one of those like time sensitive records where I really wanted to, it needed to release now. I think just based off of the content, where the world is, it's like, we need to get this out now. And felt prophetic in a sense, you know, and I started having like some really solid conversations, or interesting conversations about the concept of the scenic route, right? Let's look up a definition, actually. Let's do that. Because I got notes, y'all. I'm going to try and keep this because I have to go into the office tomorrow. So, all right. So, scenic route is a road or waterway that passes through a beautiful area, often taking longer than a more direct route. The route is chosen for the experience of the journey rather than the speed of arrival. Let's try another definition. I don't know if it's gonna feel like a sermon. So it's really funny. All these definitions: a road or path designed to take one past a pleasant view or nice scenery. This is very interesting that when you talk about a scenic route, every single definition refers to a beautiful, to the taking in the experience of your surroundings. It's very interesting. But I think when we think of taking the scenic route, we just look at it's a long time. It's a long time. So I guess like my first question is like, what is long? Pause. What is a long time? What does that mean? Do we have an idea in our mind of how long a certain thing should take to materialize or to complete a thing? You know what I'm saying? What is the gauge, or how do we determine how long something should take? How? You know what I'm saying? I think, sometimes people have goals set for themselves. Like, all right, by the end of June, I want to lose 30 pounds. Right? And then you get to June and you haven't lost 30 pounds. And then you get frustrated, and I might be jumping ahead of myself, but then you get frustrated because here it is in June and you still got that 30 pounds on you, or you haven't lost 30 pounds, excuse me. You get to June and you haven't gotten to your 30-pound goal. There we go. But I think what happens is you look at what a lot of people don't do is they don't look at what they've done from January to June, especially if they actually begin to put the work in. Maybe, I got to June and I've only lost 15 pounds, but I'm in the gym regularly. I'm eating better. I feel better in my body. So I think the bigger issue is we don't take time to celebrate small victories. All we looking at is the destination. We're essentially, and if we're taking a path, we're not stopping to observe all of the beautiful surroundings. Look at those mountains over there. You know what I'm saying? Look at this landmark right here. We're essentially asking ourselves, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you know what that is? That's annoying. I said in my newsletter that I took quite a few spontaneous road trips this year, and my 3-year-old, soon as we get in the car, we ain't 15 minutes out. She gonna start asking, Dad, are we there yet? Like, baby, this is a 3-hour drive. This is a 5-hour, 6-hour drive. You 15 minutes in asking where we at. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you don't take the time and all you're thinking about is the 30 pounds, or all you're thinking about is whatever the destination is, and you're not stopping, you are, essentially throwing yourself off. So my first question, just to get back, is what is time? Because truth be told, and I'm reading you guys say this in the chat in different ways, you're saying the same thing in different ways. Feeling behind, feeling delayed, it's common, especially when you are pursuing growth, Because truth be told, you don't know how you're going to grow. Like, when things grow, they grow up and out, but you don't know how many branches, you don't know the leaf count. Like, you don't even know that process of growth. All you're looking at is the time. It's like, fam, why are we looking at the time? Why are we so focused on the time, big dog? So we're setting ourselves up for failure. essentially, when we do that. And I'm just reading y'all in the chat. And again, I'm only looking at the I'm only looking at YouTube. But we're setting ourselves up. I'm trying to think of where I want to go next. I want to hear about a time when you felt like life was taking too long. You know what I'm saying? I can think of a million things personally. But I thought about actually my introduction to rapping. I saw this video and I meant to download. I just didn't have enough time. But essentially, someone who is really deep into developing AI, specifically like developing music. You know how they say answering questions, great products solve problems. You know what I'm saying? And a great product presents a problem and a solution. What we've done now is we like make up stuff. We make up problems. And I've always said this about AI, though I we'll have another conversation another day, but I think AI has positive and negative benefits. But I think one of the big red flags for AI is who is developing it. And it is one demographic of people that are developing AI. And I'm on record saying that like, yo, these are people who are not creative. These are people who were not popular in school. And now they have their opportunity to essentially play God and make up for experiences and things that they didn't get when they were younger. So you couldn't sing or you couldn't rap. Now you have developed technology that allows you to do so. So in this conversation, the dude was like, man, learning how to play music is such a chore. Like nobody wants to learn and develop music. I was like, nigga, are you crazy? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you yapping about? Like my 10-year-old says, what are you yapping about? Because it reminded me of when I was in high school, my junior year of high school, 2001. I snuck out. I was rapping then, like here and there. Off and on. Actually, like off and on. Like I was rapping a little bit sophomore year, but like it was just something to do. But I wasn't really into it. But early, probably like October, like right before my birthday, junior year of high school, I snuck out the house to go to a party and I got caught. That whole story is even a story in itself. Because I used to, like, whenever I would go out, my dad would give me his pager. If he needed me, he would page me. So I snuck out the house. So I came back home. My curfew was at like 11 or something like that. I came home, rubbing my eyes. Oh, Dad, I'm going to bed. I'm really tired. Meanwhile, my man is around the corner waiting in the car to take us to this party that's supposed to go crazy. So I prop up all my pillows and stuff, and I sneak out of my window. I open up my window in my room. I sneak out. I lived downstairs, we had a finished basement. Lived in the bedroom down there. Opened the window, snuck out. Fam, when I tell you, I wasn't out the door for 20 minutes. I got a text. It just said 911. I looked at my man. I said, yo, my dad knows that I'm gone. My boy gives me terrible advice. He says, yo, hey, you just might as well go out now. So, so we went to the party, and the party was trash. The party was trash. I'm so mad the party was trash. So I get home at like 1:30 or something like that. When my man pulled, I said, yo, just pull up to the front of the house. Like, I'm already in trouble. When I pull up to the house, all the lights are on in the house. My dad is super petty. All the lights are on in the house. I walk in the door. He just said, Armond, go to bed. I'll talk to you in the morning. He just wanted to make sure. Now when I've talked to him about that story, as an adult, he's just like, I just wanted to make sure that you got home okay because you didn't call me back. So I just wanted to make sure you were safe. But, at that point, he wasn't going to whoop me. Like, I was 15, 16 years old. Like, those days were over. So I wake up the next day, and there's a reason why I'm telling this story. Wake up the next day, I'm grounded for the whole year. Grounded from going out. Can't go nowhere. After school, come home, that's it. I was not grounded from the computer. I was not grounded from talking on the phone. I wasn't grounded from my PlayStation. So literally all I did my junior year of high school, I played Grand Theft Auto 3 and I wrote raps. I learned how to rap to take it a step further. I got into like computer technology. If you remember old Windows computers, they used to have something called Sound Recorder. And I would rip music off of my CD with Streambox Ripper. I would rip them to MP3. Or I would just play them off a Windows media player. And I would, if there was an open space in the beat, I would manually hit a button to record and then stop it. And if I got the rhythm right and I played it within another app that I had, it would loop. Right? So shout out to my man Reggie. Rest in peace to my man Reggie. Reggie would call me and for hours, we would rap. We would freestyle. He was teaching me how to freestyle. And in that time, I got notebooks. Like, I'm like laying in my room and I've got composition books everywhere of just raps. It's all I did was write raps. Write. I would go to oola.com and I would just study rappers. Cannabis. That's when I was in my underground backpack bag. Cannabis. God, who else? Copyright. Big L. Fabulous. Like rapidy rappers. I was studying them. I would take their lyrics from oola.com and I would rewrite them like, this is what I would say. And from there, I learned how to develop my own style of rapping. This took the whole year. Writing, rapping. Bought the little mic from Radio Shack and was learning how to record myself. Getting software, PC DJ, Sony Acid 2.0, learning how to engineer my own music, freestyling with my boy, because I couldn't go anywhere. Watching movies and just learning about studying the craft of emceeing to whatever degree a 15-year-old could. So then my senior year of high school, my grades were bad, but I was a beast. I was battle rapping in the city and I was killing everybody. I had just rhymes, just raps on raps in my head, ready to go. And I would just out rap everybody. We would go to a party. I wouldn't drink, wouldn't smoke. That wasn't my thing. Because I took that year. So now today, fast forward to today, when you guys hear Scenic Route and you hear all these records and, Armond, is an amazing rapper, an amazing MC, and this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. You know why I'm an amazing rapper? You know why you think I'm an amazing MC? Because when I was 15 years old, I took a year to learn how to rap. And some nerd who's developing AI and couldn't rap a gift thinks that he can do what I do with technology. You can't. Or you're looking at these new artists who make a hit record. They get a bunch of money thrown at them. You stick them on a Rolling Loud stage in front of 20,000 people and they bomb. Like, never mind 20,000 people. You don't know how to perform in front of 20 people. But you know what teaches you how to do that stuff? The scenic route, the long way, the journey. You know what I'm saying? So in turn, if I have such fond memories of this experience, then why am I so frustrated? Please like this video, y'all. Why am I so frustrated about things taking longer than they're supposed to, or at least longer than I think they're supposed to? That's not fair to the process. I said this about I thought my deconstruction was a junction. Now I'm convinced it's uncertainty I'm stuck with. Right? For some people, maybe their deconstruction process took a year, 2 years. Maybe mine is going to take another 5 years. Maybe it's going to take another 10 years. I don't know. Maybe. But why am I so frustrated that things aren't happening the way that I think they should happen? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, Julian. My 10,000, when I say I put in my 10,000 hours 10 years ago, I mean that. One of my favorite battle rappers is Calico. He got a line. He said, yo, he rap good, but I ain't lied yet. I don't lie to y'all. Listen, I pride myself on not lying to y'all. Shakir, you're absolutely right, man. Instant gratification. In this society, in this culture, to embrace the scenic route is like anti. To embrace the process, to embrace the journey, that's counterculture. Because we want that instant gratification. We almost have to reject the instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I got notes. I'm all off on my notes. So I think the three things that I learned from the scenic route, and even just from that time, the first thing is patience. To Shakir's point, you learn patience. My 3-year-old is not patient at all. She wants what she wants when she wants it right now. She's 3. I'm 40. What am I in such a rush for? Now, I think what happens is, and I can only speak for myself, that sometimes that lack of patience frustrates us, and then we want to be inconsistent. Or I'm sorry, now we want to be. It leads us to be inconsistent. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this twice a month, 3 times a month. There's no reason why. But why? But what happens? I get frustrated out of not being, not relying on patience. That I know I got. I have it. I know I have it. I just don't rely on it. It's like it's like a fire pair of sneakers that I don't wear. Do you know? And y'all see like the background and stuff change, like, and I got a new lens and all that stuff, like, right. You know what kind of sneakers I got? What? Do you know what's collecting dust? My collection is crazy. But then when I'm out, right? When I'm out, I'll see somebody rock like a crazy pair of sneakers that I know I got in my closet that's collecting dust. And I'm like, why don't I wear those? Those look so good. Those are fire. That's what it's like to like, And so I equate that to patience. Like, yo, I know I have patience within me. There are things that I've been patient for, plenty of things. Additionally, I know that the fruit of instant gratification is not good. It's not good. Ty, what's up, man? It's not good. So why do I want it? It's like candy. My favorite candy is Twix, right? Twix, they're terrible for you. It's not even real chocolate. It's terrible. You know what I'm saying? My wife has done a great job of finding me like alternatives for my sweet tooth. Like plant-based stuff, organic stuff that's like actually good. But I want that instant gratification. I gotta go the bakeries or the places where they sell those things. Like I gotta go to a certain part of the city, or I gotta make it myself, and it takes a little bit longer. But you know what? That Twix is right around the corner. There's a gas station right around the corner from my house. I'm gonna just go there and grab this Twix, and just because I want the instant gratification. It's whack. It's trash. It's not good. The second thing that I learned is creativity. You like learn things about yourself. Like, oh, I'm good at this. Oh, I went from printing out other people's lyrics to like being able to write my own. And now I know people do that with people take my songs and lines from my songs and like make their own versions of my songs. It's the same thing. Because I flexed that muscle of creativity, right? Flexed that muscle of creativity. Learned a lot about myself, what I'm capable of, what I can do. And I'm like, oh, I'm nice. This is great. The other thing as it relates to patience though, I learned balance. I learned how to balance mental, emotional, and spiritual health during these delays. Sometimes I get stressed and I get overwhelmed and I self-medicate in not healthy ways. But now I've learned when those feelings come up, I know the fruit of this. I know where this is going to go. I know where this self-medication is going to take me. So like, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned to like, I tell people all the time, like, yo, the best thing that you can do is learn how to like hesitate. Like there's power in like hesitating. And what I mean by hesitating is when you get that urge to make a certain move and like your emotions ain't right, your heart ain't right, but you want to do it. Like, yo, I'm about to spit in this dude's face because he talking crazy, or I'm about to be reckless and spend a lot of money when I know I need to be saving, or I'm about to, you know what I'm saying, go just do something out of character that's not beneficial, or that goes against like the journey that I'm trying to get to, right? Instead of, if I'm driving on the scenic route, I only got $20 left. I need to put this in my car because I need to get to my destination. I need to put some gas in my car. Instead, I'm gonna take this $20 and go to a thrift store or go somewhere and just spend it on something unnecessary. That hesitation, y'all. That hesitation is so valuable. If I just say, you know what, wait a minute. And you stop and you wait for just a minute. That urge starts to go away. Starts to go away. And in the instances when it intensifies, you can talk to yourself and tell yourself like, yo, I know that if I do this, this is going to happen. And then I'm going to deal with this and this and this and this. This is also the power of overthinking. I just see 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead. If I just wait for 1 second, you know what I mean? I can weather that like emotional storm and then make the right choice. Then I can make the choice that I know is valuable and helpful to where I'm trying to go and not detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Deferring is a good word, Julian. Good word. Now, sometimes, and I used like extreme examples, but sometimes that hesitation and that assessment, that second thought, you know what I'm saying, the Black Shinobi's talking about, will like help you to realize, well, maybe this first idea is the right idea, but it may be done in the wrong spirit, just may not be time to do that yet. You know what I'm saying? So that man, listen, that hesitation, that let me chill, deferring that action, as Julian talked about in the comments, man, lifesaver. Lifesaver. All right, what we got? We got 15 minutes left. Okay. I want to hear, like, for those of you who have heard Scenic Route, I would love to hear, like, what your favorite line or, you know, what's something that really stuck out to you. I just want to freestyle something and deep dive, because I could go line by line, but we'd be here all night. And maybe I'll do that for Patreon one day. And I still want to talk to you about this album. Like, I love, you know, when I said, as you get older, Satan gets, what did he say? Dang, what I say? And then separate us, too old to be motivated by haters. As you mature, Satan gets more complicated with how he cooks you. Told my youngins, watch them demons you can't kill with a bullet. I noticed that like a lot of these like younger Christian rappers, they rap about like shooting demons. I told y'all about that experience. I went to that Christian hip hop show last year. You know, it was all these like young, like really zealous Christians, and they were rapping and they were like on a grape tree stuff. You know, I'm not even like a Christian hip hop historian like that, nowhere near. But I remember my introduction to Christian hip hop was my senior year of high school. My girlfriend used to go to a youth group, like a youth night on Fridays, and she brought me with her. And I guess she told the youth pastor, whoever that was running the group, that I was a rapper and I was into hip hop. And he was like, yo, I got these artists. And he was like showing me like these Christian artists, and like the covers look like these really bad, like No Limit covers. I think No Limit covers are like amazing, but like these were bad versions of them. And it was like, you know, Solomon the Demon Killer and all this other stuff. Like, this is the rappers' names. But I noticed like now, like that style has come back around. And I was like, and I'm listening to him like, yeah, shoot the devil, blah, 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 shoot the demons, kill these demons with my, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. The demons that you can shoot with your gun. I remember those. Those are the easy ones. Those are the easy demons. Get the one that's been around the block a few times. Get the one that is very crafty and manipulative, and his voice sounds like your voice, and like you gonna shoot that one. He gonna look at the bullet and be like, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy?" Be mindful. Be mindful of those. You know what I'm saying? As you mature. Luke, what up, man? Okay, listen to my old raps and get misty-eyed and mystified. Damn, I really missed that guy. He was so eager to risk it all and get to God. Now he fights the voices that say he's rinsed and dried. You missed your time. Hard to believe God fixed the fight. The devil is a lie, but every accusation on his list is right. What? I'm good. I mean, I don't think there's anything to break down with that. I don't think there's anything to break down with that. Oh, that whole line, Julian, the whole segment where I said, it's funny. Like, I should just play the verse again. Let's see. J3, what's going on, man? You get the one tied to your money. Listen, get the one that's tied to your stomach. Get the one that's tied to the things that you want. You can't shoot that demon. That ain't happening, big dog. What'd I say? Oh, a bunch of hand-me-downs hanging in my prayer closet. First of all, that line is fire. A bunch of hand-me-downs hanging in my prayer closet. To follow the line where I said I wonder if new creatures come with caveats. That alone is what? If you're a new creature in Christ, does that come with caveats? I've lived a life long enough to say, yeah, I think so. I think you could be a new creature and still have some hangups. Not all of them, but some of them. The blood ain't thicker than the scriptures my daddy taught. So I'm talking about like generational things, like that I'm still actively dealing with that I didn't ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't ask for these particular demons, right? I didn't ask for these particular hangups. These were things that my father, my grandfather, my great-great-great-grandfather, that I don't even know. These are things that they were dealing with and didn't know how to manage. And I said a bunch of hand-me-downs hanging in my prayer closet. So the clothes that they gave me, the things that they gave me are hanging up in my prayer closet. It's fire. Keep your renewed mind if it's mixed with their logic. Keep your godliness if it don't produce good people. Woe to those who call good evil. Keep your ties if it's tied up in classism. And keep your narrow path if it ain't empaths in it. What? I don't know. What do you want me to break down? As it relates to the Scenic Route, I don't know. Let's follow with one more thing. I think the big thing to talk about in all of this, right, is having grace for yourself, having self-compassion, definitely like receiving God's grace. Absolutely. But just like allowing yourself to live a life that is compassion filled. What does that mean, Armond? Don't beat yourself up. Don't flog yourself because you aren't where you feel like you're supposed to be. It might take a little longer. You mapped out this journey and it's gonna take, you feel like, all right, I start here and I'm gonna travel here. This road trip is gonna take me 8 hours. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna stop one time for gas. I'm gonna stop one time for food. And that's it. But what happens if, there's traffic on the road? What if they're doing construction and you have to take a detour? What if something goes wrong with your car and you got to take a detour to a body shop and get something repaired? You get a nail in your tire. Oh my God, my Atlanta trip this summer. Went to Atlanta this summer. Rented a car. I'm pretty sure when we rented the car, I made the mistake of not really like inspecting the car that we rented. And I think they gave the car to us with this big giant nail in the car. So we getting ready to drive back from Atlanta, because the Atlanta drive it's not difficult at all. So we drove, and we ended up like, when I found the nail in the tire. I'm like, yo, I'm not about to I'm not about to drive back on the road. I'm not about to drive back with this nail in my tire. So we called the rental car place. Oh yeah, just go here, let's swap it out for you. We went to one rental car place. They looked at us like, them folks looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, nah, we can't. You gotta go to the airport. And you know Atlanta's big. So then we had to go to the other side of town. And keep in mind, we were supposed to go to the mall. We was gonna like hang out a little bit before we got back on the road. Done. We went to the Atlanta airport. This is in July, mind you. It's super hot. The Atlanta airport is just big and, you know, it's just a lot. And I got one person who was an a-hole to me and was rude. I had another person who like was like, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. And then like they got me a car, like, yeah, your car is in spot A6. And I went to A6 and there was no car. There was no replacement car. So then I tried to look for him and he went to lunch. So I had to go find somebody else. And finally, like they were able to help me. We were at the airport for like 2 hours. We were supposed to get back to Ohio at like 8 o'clock. We didn't get back to like 3 in the morning. I thought it was going to be this. I thought the trip was going to take this long. It took this long. You know what I'm saying? Having compassion on yourself, because I mean, I could have been like, man, if I just would have checked the car like really good, I would have noticed the nail in the tire and I would have got it situated. Or I didn't. Thank God that I caught it while I was at a gas station and I was able to take care of it versus being on the road and a tire popping, because that's happened to me before. Tire could have popped, could have been on the side of the road and been in trouble. Instead, car was fine, was able to run the AC, everybody was comfortable. Like, it could have been a whole lot worse. Thank God that I was patient with the other rental car workers who either gave me wrong information or weren't very nice to me. And I was like very intentional about being patient and gracious and talking to them and saying thank you and please, and, you know, talking at a lower register or a calm register. So when the person who ended up helping me, she was like, you know, I have to like yell or do none other. So I think she looked out for me because I was so cool about it. I had compassion on other people. I had compassion on myself for not catching it at step 1. You know what I'm saying? So at what place in your life, and what place on your scenic route, what place on your journey can you be more compassionate for yourself? At what place can you ask God to provide some compassion for you? Like, Lord, help me to receive your grace and your compassion. I feel like I should be here, but I'm not here. Help me just not quit, or help me not go off on the deep end, or help me not take my frustration out on my wife or my kids, or help me, you know what I'm saying? Help me to not self-medicate and, you know, like eat bad, or, you know, reach out to people I ain't got no business talking to, or whatever that self-medication looks like. Help me to not isolate. Help me to lean into my folks in my community. Cause y'all know how I feel about, like, listen, man, the biggest thing when I can't give compassion to myself, I got friends that I can call who are so gracious, And they will find the compassion for me and they say, well, Armond, maybe you need to X, Y, and Z. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Even if I'm like at the moment, like, yeah, whatever. I know they're right. Like, just help me to hear another voice other than that still small one in my head that sounds like God, but ain't God. You know what I'm saying? Self-compassion. What can you do to just be more kind to yourself? Man, let's wrap up because I could really be here all day. I think the biggest thing for me it's a few things. Just to recap, and then I'm going to talk about the album and then I'm going to get out of here. I think one of the most important things that you could do to give yourself grace, and maybe some of y'all do this, maybe some of y'all don't, journal. Write down your progress from week to week. Where was I, or month to month? Where was I at, in December versus where am I at now in January? You know what I'm saying? I shared in my newsletter about how my wife I was just sharing like, man, I'm feeling really insecure, comparing my year to everybody else's. Everybody looks like da-da-da-da. And she was like, yo, go through your phone and start January of 2024, go through the year and look at all of the pictures that you've taken. And what have you done this year? I started to go through and I was like, man, wow. I had a really great year. Some really high moments this year. So being more intentional about like creating those earmarks on your journey. Because I think, like what I said earlier, we do a really bad job of celebrating those small victories. You know what I'm saying? Like, my small victory this week is doing this. I made space to go live. Or I edited, a video. Or I posted X amount of times this week. Or I cleared 80% of my to-do list. I didn't get everything, but I got a lot of things. Because I think that celebrating those victories is almost the equivalent of like when you're on this scenic route, when you're on this journey, thinking of like the things that you did while you were on the road. The things that you'll remember when you're older, the things your kids will remember. I remember when we sang songs we were driving through, Kansas. And we sang songs in the car the whole time. Or I remember, we tried this restaurant. I remember we saw this landmark. We drove through Colorado and there was these beautiful mountains. The equivalent of that is, man, in June, I did this, whatever earmark on your journey. For me, it's like, yo, I bought the DJ equipment. And I taught myself how to DJ. I got a gig. I forgot I got a gig. I got a paid gig 2 months after DJing, 3 months after DJing. Wow. Because for most of us, I'm thinking, I got to get to this point, this end point. It's got to be here. My DJ, it's like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What can you celebrate right now? I think the second thing that you can do on this journey is invite people into your space. How do you, on the scenic route? Who's riding in the car with you? I know for many of us, we're creating or we're building or whatever by ourselves. But who knows what you're doing? Who can help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'm tired and somebody else can drive for a few hours. I can take me a little nap. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife is huge accountability partner for me. I got some homies that are really big accountability partners for me. My son will text me. My oldest daughter will text me. Hey, Dad, how you doing? What's up with this? My son sometimes, my mom sometimes pop up on my streams, ask me questions. My mom came to visit for the holidays, and she's like, Armond, how long are you gonna be on this break? It's time for you to get back to it. Keep in mind, when I was younger and I was like rapping, like the story I shared earlier, man, my mom wasn't trying to hear that. All that stuff I was rapping about, right? She like never, my family like didn't really support me like in that way. They weren't against it, but like my dad was like, hey son, want to hear it? What's the new song you got? Like nobody was doing that. So to have that accountability, it actually got me back on my job. My mom was like, oh, like when are you getting back to? I'm like, oh shoot, okay, well, it's go time. Like, let me get my stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your accountability space? Who's going to encourage you on this journey? Who's going to, my wife will sit there, and when I'm overwhelmed, my wife will sit there and listen to like me, like unpack an idea. And she'll be so gracious and she'll just listen. And sometimes she'll offer insight. Sometimes she'll just affirm it. Sometimes she'll ask questions. She won't ever say this is a bad idea, but sometimes she'll ask questions to like help me unpack maybe something that might be missing. Trusted voices you need in the space. Trusted voices. Trusted voices. I think I talked about that in my email too. The other thing, the last thing that I learned, listen, man, take a break. Get some rest. And don't just rest when you burn out. The same way you schedule things to do, schedule rest. Taking a break. I'm gonna stream for 2 more Wednesdays, and then I'm taking a break for a week or 2. You know what I'm saying? Rest is so important. Like listen, man, I work in a hospital, and the 3 things, because I'm a wellness coach, I'm a life coach, like by trade, nationally certified, right? The 3 things that I help people coach through the most, the 3 reoccurring themes: poor eating habits, isolation, social isolation, not getting enough rest, not taking care of their bodies. Those are the 3. Those are the 3. And whenever I help people get over that hump and prioritize those 3 things, if they're not prioritized, all the other stuff falls into place immediately. Immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, whatever that looks like for you. For some people, they get like those injections in their joints. Oh my God, my back, it doesn't hurt anymore. And now I can do X, Y, and Z. You know why you're miserable? You know why you're mean to your family? Do you know why? Because your body hurts. or because you're eating poor and your joints, you know what I'm saying, is impacting your joints. You got too much sugar in your diet, or you're not drinking enough water. So you just don't feel good physically. You got low iron or low testosterone, low vitamin D. You're not taking those supplements. You're just not eating well. You're stressed out because you're burnt out and you're not sleeping well. Go get a massage. Go to a chiropractor. You know what I'm saying? Go get some acupuncture. Go to, oh my God, my wife took me to a hot yoga class like a year and a half ago. Dog. So good. Stretching in a hot room. Fam. So good. What are you doing to take care of your body? Go outside. Go hang out with your folks. Hang out with your people. Don't wait until somebody's birthday for men. Don't wait until somebody's birthday to link up with your people. Go kick it. Get on the phone. Call somebody. Check in. Go watch something on TV that's not, the news, or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, watch a fictional show that's not rooted in real life. Watch some cartoons. Go get HBO Max and watch Looney Tunes. That's what I do. I just watch old Looney Tunes from the 60s. Old episodes of The Simpsons, my brother and me, like just things that I know are going to bring me joy. Put your phone down. Just talking to it. It was just in my group chat. One of my group chats talking about like just on the phone too much. So rest doesn't necessarily have to be sleeping, though that's a big part of it. But like some of it is just decompressing, disconnecting, recharging, taking a break, getting away from. Don't create like I did in December. I didn't create nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything. And it was so necessary. And now I feel good. But I'm mindful of that now because I'm like, all right, I got stuff created for the next couple of weeks. And then once I stop, once I don't have anything else to create, I got a break set in at some point. I'm taking a break here. And then I'm going to get back to it. Got to be mindful of those things as you get older. Okay. All right. I could be here all day. I really thank you guys for watching this with me, or for joining this stream with me. I will be back next week because I have an album coming out. Armond and Doc 2 is done. Armond and Doc 2 is finished and ready to go. Since you guys are on this chat, I'm gonna give y'all some exclusive news. I'm gonna tell y'all how the album is rolling out. Patreon, both Patreons. So y'all know I have a personal Patreon and I have a Patreon for Doc and I's podcast, Clock Radio Speakers. So if you don't know what Armond and Doc is, let me run that back. If you don't know what Armond and Doc is, you can go to your preferred streaming app right now and listen to Armond and Doc. I'm the rapper. Doc is the producer. He's also the co-host of my podcast, Clock Radio Speakers. So if you are on either one of those Patreons, you saw the video for a song called Grateful. That song and that video is getting released on Friday. Friday the 17th. All right, Friday the 17th. Here on YouTube, on Instagram, like whatever you follow me on social media. I really just want to lean in on YouTube and Instagram, and that's it. It's just too many. Like, you want me to join Blue Sky, and TikTok's about to go down, and my folks told me, yeah, get Lemonade and get Fanbase and get what's the red one that everybody's going to, the Chinese one, Red Book or something like that. Like, now I'm 40. I'm not downloading all of these apps. It's too much. So Friday, that video will be made available. You guys will hear the song. That Tuesday, January 21st, the album will be made available to all paid patrons on the Clock Radio Speakers Patreon. If you are a paid member, if you are a paid member, if you are on the $5 tier or the $10 tier, the album will be made available to you Tuesday, this Tuesday coming up, a week from yesterday, January 21st. The album will be yours and be in your hands. And from there, if you're a paid patron, also, hold on, even before that, I'll tell y'all some other exclusive news. The album there's a deluxe version that's only going to be available on Patreon. It's going to have one bonus song and 3 remixes. I did 4 because 1 + 3 is 4. So I say 3 remixes. Don't cut this up where I'm only doing it. So 1 bonus song, 3 remixes. Only available on Patreon. This Monday. What's that date? This Monday, January 20th. Both Patreons will get to watch the video from the bonus record. All right. It's a song called The Fall. All right. Then on the 21st, the album will be available on Patreon. And then on Friday, January 24th, the album will be available on the Armond Wake Up Patreon. Again, this is the deluxe version. And then January 28th, Tuesday, taking it back to Tuesdays, the album will be available on streaming and on Bandcamp. Bandcamp version if you want to support that way, but it will not have the bonus songs. It'll just be the regular album. That's the rollout. How many of y'all is in here? Is 4 y'all in here? Who's still in here? Is anybody in here that's not on the page? Hold on. Hold up. I'm gonna hook y'all up. And I'm grateful. Oh my God, I'm grateful. I promise I am. Yo, had a paradigm in my prayer life. Had some wars I couldn't bear to fight. Haunted by darkness, I couldn't bear the light. My burdens never carry light. Immature thinking that I would never lie. Failure is what prepared the flight. My faith had been objectified. I was naive and that got manipulated. Sorcery was demonstrated. I drank the Kool-Aid and believed the mission statement. Memorized the manual and didn't read the missing pages. Oh my God, I felt duped. I was aloof. This is not truth. A lie told so well, it came with proof. Led me down a path every which way but loose. Listen. I'm that's the last thing I say. I am rapping this year. We rapping. We talking about life stuff. Talking about wrestling, model ministry. I'm rapping this year, and I have a meeting tomorrow. I ain't even told my Patreon this. I have a meeting tomorrow about something that may go down later this year that you guys will really, really, really enjoy. I'm not playing with y'all, man. I'm not playing with y'all in 2025. I'm not playing. Very, very excited. So keep me in prayer. Because I need it. Keep me in prayer. Because I need it. So I'm going to get out of here, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all's time, man. I got to get up in the morning and go to work. go into the office, I should say. It's my 1 day a week in the office. And I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a great rest of your night. And I appreciate y'all. I'll be back next week to talk about that record too.